So today we're going to talk about philosophy, and we're also going to therefore talk about Stoicism, but there's also going to be just some other philosophical thoughts around various topics. It's going to be on Reddit, so the links are going to be down in the description, so check it out if you want to check it out and do whatever with it. It is free on the web, which is an amazing thing, you know. There's going to be more after the intro though, you know, as always, as we're always doing it here on this amazing channel. Please watch the whole video, subscribe, thank you. But yeah, anyway, I think we're just gonna get straight into it. This is actually the second recording, and by the way, please check out the description, or that description actually, because there's a lot of free things that you can get. First of all, there is the link to the podcast, because this is actually a podcast and a YouTube quote-unquote show. On the other hand, you're also gonna get 3 things, as I said. For example, the free PDFs of the things that I've highlighted in this episode or in other episodes. If I've highlighted something, then it is going to be in a tiny PDF. You can download it and print it and share it and do whatever with it. And there is everything in this that I've gone through in this episode, which is pretty amazing, because some people like to listen, therefore we're having a podcast. Some people like to watch, therefore we're having the YouTube videos. And some other people like to read things. And this is why there's also the free PDF. And there's as well some music, so if you do want to have some background music in this video, then please also check out the 3rd link, or it's actually, I think, the 4th link, but 3rd section, something like that. And there's also just different tracks to choose from, and they're all, I think, an hour long, so you should be fine. Everything should be fine, should be good to go. And yeah, enjoy the episode, and I'm going to see you. With that being said, hello, welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development Tactics podcast, you know? If I haven't said that, which I'm actually not quite sure of. But, very important thought and thing, I'm looking forward to it, I think. This is what I wanted to say, but I'm really not quite sure. As leaders, and by the way, this is the philosophy subreddit, and I think we're just going to go through some, in general, philosophical thoughts, maybe, and I also hope to find them there. And afterwards, or just a little bit later, we're going to go through the Stoicism Reddit or subreddit per se. There's also some cool things that as I have seen, which is always something nice, you know, to have some cool things, obviously. Fucking obviously. But yeah, anyway. As leaders weigh the economic and public health impacts of their response to pandemic, we ought to consider the moral impacts of our decisions about whether to prioritize the lives of the sick and vulnerable over much less measurable and more uncertain economic outcomes. Yes, indeed. I know it is such a difficult question, I would say, but it really indeed is. Like, of course, you can say like, okay, I only care about the economic, you know, or economics. But then what happens is that a lot of people are going to die, which is not good. I know, which is really not good. And things are going to get worse, and things are going to get fucked up if it is the case, and if things go really wrong then. On the other hand, if you just let the economy down as well, then in the future it's not going to be good for the people. So in either way, I think we just really have to be conscious about what we're doing. And there is some, you know, we have to just make some slight adjustments, I guess. And I also wonder what it is going to be like to be in school once again in quite a month. Not even, I think. Wow, not even, I guess. Well, I do think quite a month or something. I'm not quite sure. I have to check that out. Also because, like, how are you gonna do this with school, you know? Is this a good idea to just make it, I don't know. I think it just is a little bit quick. Of course, I've been just staying at home for 5 weeks now or something. But still, you know? But still, I gotta have to say, like, it is indeed maybe a little bit too early. But I don't know. I hope not. I hope not. Unholy anorexia. Medieval mystics starved the body to feel the soul. Understanding this perfectionistic mindset could help treat anorexia today. And as I've been thinking about it, and this is indeed also one of the reasons why I want to go through that, because it is, I think, an important topic in general, but per se, I would have never thought about that. And I've probably would have also never ever found that. I just see that there's also a link there. But yeah, I mean, if it is done, or if it was done by people back in the days as well, then chances are there that we're also doing this. Maybe even for the same reasons, as we've actually also seen yesterday, I guess, in the episode about also Stoicism, that people have been complaining about their neighbors for quite some time, you know, since 2000 or something. Well, no, since 0. No, never mind. No, never mind. But yes, you know, but yes. Really interesting, I would say. Then there is some videos that I don't understand why they are there. Principles and not dynamical laws will help us answer the biggest questions in philosophy and science, not dynamic laws. I don't know, the problem with dynamic laws might be that they're dynamic, you know, and that you maybe can put them into certain lights or certain ways, or do certain things with them that do not make sense in things or for things, that just maybe make it easier for one rather than more difficult. But yeah. Neuroexistentialism, Meaning, Moral, and Purpose in the Age of Neuroscience, which is a book review apparently. Is it actually long? I wonder. It's not long. It's only a link. By the way, I'm going to link this subreddit down in the description if I don't forget about it. And also that you can check out all these amazing things that I'm seeing. There's also a podcast apparently. Why false claims about COVID refuse to die. Philosophers of science on information zombies. Yeah, I think it is just a really fucked up thing. Like there is a lot of misinformation, wrong information. A discussion, an argument for legitimate non-supernatural sorcery. Okay. Resist and be free, more than false choices and options. The highest freedom lies in being true to oneself and defying the expectations of others. Yes, indeed. This is a really important one, and I've seen it before, which I think might have also been a reason why I want to go through it, but I believe in that. I really do believe in that, because if you constantly do what somebody else is just telling you to do, by the way, it looks just so fucking bullshitty, but it is what it is. I have to do this because, power, currency, current, not currency, current. And the thing is, if you constantly do whatever just somebody else wants you to do or whatever, then you're not you. It's not you then. It is a form of you maybe. It's just, an add-on of yourself, or you yourself with an add-on, which just makes you to this particular person that the other person might like or might love or might whatever, or that you just might be fitting to the expectations of somebody else, which I can understand. Like, of course we're doing this. But yeah, nah. I think if you're you and if you just, yes, I think be yourself, always try to. And of course, in some situations, people are going to be like, well, just don't do that. Don't be yourself in this and that situation and whatnot. And I think we just also have to basically differentiate between being yourself and maybe even being a form of yourself. Because of course, if you're interested in a person, then you're not going to act like the fucking dumbass. You're not going to act as if this person would be a fucking buddy. You're not going to shout around. You're not going to, fart all the fucking time or whatever. Throw up. Yes, I'm throwing up all the time with my buddies. This is what we do. It's fun. You should also be doing. Well, never mind. Yeah, of course. I think that, and I do wonder, by the way, if some other philosopher has been thinking about that, like yourself and forms of yourself and things you do as yourself or something. I don't know. It is, I think, complicated. I really believe so. Then what we have, the morality, rocks, and hard places. Oh, morality, rocks, so as just the physical object, not morality, rocks and stuff, There's much we should learn from Epicureans about how to be happy. I do wonder. Please, a little bit more. Maybe there's comments. Thank you for posting about Epicurus. There's been a bit of resurgence of interest when it comes to Stoicism with Epicureanism. Okay, often gets overlooked. Sure, Stoicism has a lot to offer in terms of helping one to endure the trials of life, but it's less useful in my mind when it comes to offering practical suggestions on how to lead a happy and fulfilled life. I wouldn't necessarily say so. This is of course like a discussion you just gonna have with people. This person thinks that, this other person thinks that, and whatever it might be. But yeah, what should you be doing? It's just what it is. The Epicurean focus on avoiding pain, the first point, I just don't like it. Meeting your basic needs and then doubling down on spending as much time as possible with friends and family is well worth contemplating in our modern consumerist society. Do we really want to work 40 hours? A 40-hour week, spending only the odd weekend on or holiday with the people we most care about in the world? No, we don't want to, and especially not if you're just. This is a problem. This is really indeed a problem that I've been talking about it for months. Back in the quote unquote days. I think probably half a year ago, it's been just a really common topic here on our channel. Nowadays, I think I just kind of distance myself a little bit from it because I've been talking about it so much. The thing is, if you're just working on something or working a job and you hate it, you hate every single fucking second of it, then it is fucked up. You shouldn't be having the job. On the other hand, it might also not be that of an easy thing to just quit a job and do something new and do whatever. Of course, I understand that, The thing is, just do it in a different way. Just work something that you actually like. But people are then going to be like, well, I just don't need the money and stuff and whatnot. But most often we need the money because we're buying shit we don't need. You know, just all the nice cars, those fancy clothes, all these things we just probably only need because we hate our job so much that this is one of the things that makes us feel good. Maybe, might be the case, but if you're just happy all day fucking long working, you know, and if you also like the people there, which might be one of the reasons why you like work, or you like the people because you like the work. So you either one of those sides, I would say. Maybe you just like the work and you don't like the people there, you know. But the thing is, I can understand that, but I think it is a common problem, and I think it should not be asked in that way. You know, it should not be like, okay, should we really work 40 hours? Of course, like you can also work 20 hours, but you could also work 40 hours on something that you absolutely love. So this is something we always decide, basically, I would say, you know. Do we really want to work? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, yes, indeed. It means you're likely to see them. Okay, if your parents are in their 50s and you see them at most twice a year, is this like common? I don't know, twice a year. Have you really considered that this means you are likely to see them fewer than 100 more times? In other words, you will spend more days working in the next 6 months than you will spend with your parents for the rest of their lives. Yes, I know, but you could also just work really hard so that this is able, or so that you can meet with them and do something with them more often if this is something that's important to you. Like, I don't know, like if something really is important to you, then you should be doing something about it. Of course, it's always easy to be sad. It's always easy if you just say like this and that and whatnot. But yeah, you know, what should you do? What should you do? You know, if we are to take Epicurus seriously, it would radically change many of our lifestyles. Our conclusion may well be that what would make us most happy isn't to keep working hard, trying to climb to the top of the career ladder, which you also don't necessarily have to do. Since I always have to think about the corporate ladder. I mean, do something that you like, have your own business. Once again, it's easier said than it is done, of course. But and then have a happy life. I mean, if it is your business, if you're just maybe operating it with other people as well, or you just employ somebody that is operating the business, then you're probably having enough time to meet with your family and do something with your friends and do something with your parents, if this is indeed something that's so important to you. Instead, we might be better served moving back to our hometown, getting a job where we're qualified for and working part-time so as to earn just enough to get by. Instead, we could spend it on communal living, spending lots of time building meaningful relationships with people we come to love, investing the best years of our lives in our romantic partners, our children, our friends, and our family. Let the world enjoy their fancy holidays and latest generation smartphones. We would have good mates, dogs, parties, quality home-cooked food, good books, beautiful scenery, and healthy bodies and people who love us. Not necessarily. You know, I wouldn't just necessarily say that we're going to have healthy bodies just because, well, of course, like happiness is a huge role and plays a huge role and is a huge thing in being healthy and happy and all those things. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say like, yeah, just because it is, you know, just because it is. I wouldn't say so. Yes, this is how we say that. But really interesting thought, Epicureans. And it reminds me of something. I don't know if I can say that, so I'm not going to say it, but I know somebody that says, do you say from himself or by himself? I don't know. He says, or, you know, maybe let's just say she says that, that she is an Epicurean, you know, and just really like deeply knowing that and really deeply like just also living that life. And I've always wondered like what this includes. Definitely just some quote unquote mindsets. I hate that word still, but yeah. The next thing, anti-realism and anti-racism. Accepting there are problems with both theoretical and scientific concepts of race doesn't mean giving up the fight against racism, but we need a new philosophical grounding for conversations about identity. Accepting there are problems with both theoretical and scientific concepts of race. There's always something wrong with anything. You can always find something that's wrong, you know, probably. The state of biopower in the age of coronavirus. Psychological egoism. All people are selfish in everything they do. Yes, indeed, quite. Even though, and this is narcissism, and this, I think, is this guy not called just narcissist or some shit? And this is why we're just saying narcissists to people that are just only thinking about themselves or are egoists. Free will in deterministic universe. The laws of physics might be deterministic, but this picture of the universe doesn't mean we don't have choices and responsibilities. Our free will remain at the heart of our sense of self. There's actually a lot of good thoughts in there. I like that. I really, truly like that, you know. I also just appreciate the thoughts that people just have. Like, we all have thoughts. This is, by the way, something that I've been blogging about today. You know, my blog is like just 3 words every single time because I'm not a writer, you know, but I could talk about things. And this is not the time where I can talk about things and can talk about my thoughts on various different things. whether it is philosophy, whether it is whatever. And yeah, I think we're just gonna have a look at the Stoicism subreddit. I like Stoicism, as you might know. And I think the first one already is something that's quite important, and I also do want to point it out. Please do not make Stoicism a religion. Gradually, more people begin to form religious mindset around Stoicism, quoting standard Stoic books as gospel, repeating and rehearsing quotes from these books in a cult-like manner. These books are meant to illuminate a path for you to walk on and not leave you like a deer in a highlight to paralyzed move. Don't stay fixed or fixated on one principle. Listen to the world around you, diversify your views and perspectives, use the lens of the ancient and modern worlds to improve your conscious existence. Yeah, I kind of have to just agree, like, I don't know, it just shows your path, and you shouldn't just, I don't know, like, I think maybe it is about just taking too serious, it is just a way of living, but yeah, I don't know. Like it might also just because don't be lead into new religion. It might also just because the people are just too like, okay, I'm a stoic, can you hear me? I'm stoic. Now like me, motherfucker. Like as it has been with vegan, or as it just has been said that vegans are doing that. And it might be just because of this, might be because of this reason that yeah, indeed, just a lot of people don't like that. I don't care because I don't care, right? Of course, like if somebody comes up to me and is like, oh, I'm a stoic, if just he or she knows that I'm just interested in the whole topic, even though do I say that I'm one? I'm not quite sure. I just like the way of thinking, I guess, or some principles. Anyone thinks that Uncle Eero from Alta is pretty stoic? Well, I don't know. Can we stop spamming with quotes? I swear I would love to participate in some fruitful philosophical discussions, but all I can see is people carelessly throwing quotes around, as if it were some sort of achievement. I have a feeling that the modern idea of discussion or a dialogue advocates for quoting instead of creating arguments and describing the matter using our own knowledge and perception. As if you haven't quoted anyone clever, your argument won't meet with any reception. Arguments and logic is one of the strongest Stoic trait, perhaps right after ethics. So why won't we use it instead of copying and pasting quotes? Good idea. I mean, like, I don't know, just post some thoughts there. I might also be doing this. Maybe it's just interesting somebody. Maybe it's indeed interesting somebody. Maybe like the problem that I'm having is that I just don't like writing. It is so slow. I just like to talk because it is fast and because I'm able to get out thoughts and images and whatnot way quicker and also way easier and in way more detail as I would ever be able to do it in fucking words, written words, written words. My problem, I guess, my problem. Proposal: allow links again, but not images. I don't know. I think it is a good reason why there's no links, because yes, I think I don't have to say anything. Stoicism is not suppression. Suppressing your emotions shouldn't be confused with stoicism. Your deeper problems don't magically disappear because they are out of your control. I recommend these 4 steps. Internalize, allow your emotions run its course, let the pain, joy, jealousy fill you. It is after all chemicals flowing through your brain, and you probably can't stop it anyway. Like, you can't think about it in a different way, but if it is happening, it is happening because it's a physical thing, or chemical, rather chemical thing. So, by the way, like I think this is an interesting thought, because can you indeed, because I don't know, it could be the case. Can you stop a chemical process while it is going on? Of course, I think, if I'm not quite sure, even though it's just been quite some time till I had chemics in school, I do think that you could stop a process if you're somehow able to, because there has to be energy, and the energy is kind of transformed into a different kind of energy. If this makes sense in this context, I don't really know. But I kind of think, like, if you can take the energy away, then there is no way that the equation is going to happen, or the thing is going to happen. The problem is, for example, if you just, I don't know, of course, I mean, if we think about it, if you're laying a fire, and you just take all the oxygen out of the fire, which means that you're just turning it off, basically, or putting it off, because there is no oxygen, there is no fuel, there is no power, there is no just energy this whole thing can be using, then it goes away. The problem is, I guess, I mean, like, it's not easy, I assume. Like, I mean, if something is burning, then I don't know. Just the energy, I think, to put a fire out, whether it is through just oxygen, how do you say, restriction, probably, and or just not having any wood, having anything to burn. I don't know, could be both things. Let's see. Overthinking. This is going to be the last one for today. Can someone help me to stop overthinking? I just got my heart scattered, and all I did in the past was overthinking. These thoughts won't leave my mind, which is not good. I think the best thing you can really do is just accept your situation, as hard as it is, and realize that the time heals everything. You could try distracting yourself with something, but personally, it doesn't always work, as I find myself being unable to put my mind on anything. A walk outside is great. I would say go for it if you can. I promise your mind will calm, even if it's just for a bit. Accept your feelings, it's okay. Remember that everything is temporary, my friend. How long will I have to go through this hell? Because sometimes I feel my head will burst open and it's always warm, than normal. I'll try everything you said and I've accepted my situation. I know, who knows? But I think it is rather faster than we expected to happen. Because I think yes, I think it's gonna be, it's gonna be exponentially rising, I guess. You start off, then it's gonna get better and better and better and better and better, and then you're fine, but just has to get better, and the better it gets, the better it gets. Quite, if you understand what I mean. As Churchill said, if you're going through hell, just keep going. What's the point of that? Let me use a personal experience as an example. When you start to lose weight, you'll need to walk around in a fat body for a long time. This is hell if you don't like how you look fat, but in order to lose this fat, you'll need to live with it for weeks, months in order to lose it. Which makes sense. Getting through hell is a process. You need to keep going until you see the light. But it's different because you have motivation, while in case of mental depression, you don't have any motivation, neither do you want to continue. Yes, indeed, because you don't see any progress. I mean, if you lose weight, you probably see progress. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, of course. But still, I don't know. I think one day you're going to just get up and be like, well, I feel better today. I feel quite good today. And then it's going to be like, wow, there is some progress. There is something that's going on. So I guess so. I don't know. But yeah. I'm going to end the episode there, and the question of the day once again is going to be, and I have to think about something new, what can you do to make somebody else's life better? Is there something you can do? But you probably can do something. You probably can do something. So do something, because it's amazing, because you can help somebody and you can make somebody's life better, nicer, more amazing, and what? Something else? No, not really. And with that being said, hello, welcome back. No, not hello. I feel like a fucking just robotic piece of shit because I have certain patterns in my head. But yeah, I wish you the best health, happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're going to remind yourself and you're going to be remembered, which means your legacy. Yes, question of the day. Thank you. 3 other questions that I have you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, which would be just the optimal thing. Purpose and business idea. Like, amazing shit there. But yeah, I'm hopefully going to see you the next time. So maybe consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that. But yeah, I'm going to see you, hopefully. And thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I really, really deeply appreciate the time and attention and energy and everything. I'm going to see you.